business, bro?
Good, man.
You good?
Yeah, I'm just glad to be out of it, man. Start working again.
That's good, bro. It's crazy how like this whole, coronavirus thing had affected a lot of small business, bro. I know you were affected, right?
Oh yeah.
How long you been in business for?
16 years, man.
16 years?
Yep.
Did you grow up in Irving?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I've been here since I think I was in like 7th grade. Yeah, I was 7th grade. Started off at Lamar.
Where did you graduate from?
Nimitz, man. I actually didn't graduate. I was there only until like 11th grade.
Like what made you become a barber, bro? Did you drop out and you started cutting hair, or?
Man, honestly, I had my grandfather's friend. He was a barber in Oak Cliff, and we were always over there hanging out. And it was something I watched. I was like, you know what? I kind of want to be a barber, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just be there so much. Just saw how he related to people, and always, good conversation, and you make someone look nice. You cut their hair, they go about their business, go out, whatever, And real cool guy. But that's when I grew up. Like I said, I was in high school, got into some trouble, and pretty much had to stop what I was doing because of the trouble I was in. And I already had my first child, so actually my child was on his way. And at the same time, it was like I was working for IBM, and it was all around that 9/11 stuff. So whenever I was at the job, they had to start doing background checks, and I already had been at that job for a while. I was there for about 2 years, and come to find out, they looked up my background, saw I had a felony case, man, and they had to let me go. At that time, I was already cutting hair, on the side, at the house.
A little side business.
Yeah, look, homies. Before we go out, I cut the hair, but I was already cutting people's hair since I was in like 7th grade. So, I was already cutting people's hair, be at my house all the time. I would spend my Saturdays, Fridays, cutting the homies, and before they get to the club, I was like, you know what? Might as well go get my license and do it right,
Definitely.
Yeah, so went to school. By the time I got out, it was about 2003. Drove around out here in Irving, and man, it was right by my house, and I'm stored in Shady Grove, and I lived right there. And like I said, I already had 2 kids at that time. By the time I finished school, kind of me and my wife riding around right down Shady Grove from the store next to that Pizza Hut.
Yep.
And told my wife, I was like, hey, what do you think about, me open up a barber shop? And she was like, yeah, and so I kind of pretty much gambled my money into this barber shop. And then, luckily, man, panned out. Look at me now, 16 years, and, and we were one of the first barbershops, man. At that time, it was just all the old school barbershops, all the old guys. I was pretty much the only barbershop. And when we opened, man, it was like, we had, like, I kid you not, man, like the shop was always full. People would wait 2 hours, 3 hours, but it was good, Brought in a bunch of barbers, which I have barbers now that work for me, and now they own their own, Pretty cool.
So this is the first business you started?
Yeah, man, it's pretty much, man. I went from IBM, working for IBM, to this, and going from high school, didn't get to graduate. I kind of lied on my resume on IBM. That's how I got my foot in the door. But other than that, man, it's always been a hustle, man. You can't sit around and kind of just
wait for business to come to
you. Yeah. You got to go and get it, man. You got to have that in your eye. And like I said, growing up, man, it was just, once I had my first kid, man, wife was pregnant. My grandfather pretty much told me, hey, you got to get out there and be a man now. So yeah, ever since then, man, shoot, I'm 40 and I've always done my own thing and try to teach my kids the same thing.
What's one thing you wish you would have known, when you began your career?
Oh man, I wish I would have really kind of took some classes in business, man. Yeah, because I really learned just as I was going.
Well, that's the best teacher, right? Life.
Yeah,
Life
exactly.
is the best teacher.
Yeah, I learned from mistakes, man. I learned a lot of stuff with like the taxes and IRS and how to build your account, build your credit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
That's one thing I figured out myself as a realtor, bro, is your taxes and how to manage them, how to really keep account of your financing.
Yeah, definitely.
In business, bro, there's always like a regret or some sort of failure, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think's been one of your biggest failures and your turning point in your career? Because obviously it wasn't all like, you open up your first shop and it's like this, right?
Right.
It wasn't always like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you think has been your biggest failure, or like that turning point where you're like, man, I gotta take it to the next level?
You know me, it's always been up, baby. Always been up. Nah, man, I think whenever I had my first shop, I got real overwhelmed with a bunch of clients, and I was trying to make everybody happy at one point, and it just got real hectic at one time to where my business, my shop, the old shop wasn't big enough, and we had like 4 or 5 parking spots in the front, and I started seeing within like 6 years being in business, started seeing us kind of get like a downfall. People, other barbershops started opening up, and other
Competition.
Exactly. People started taking off, and a lot to do with our parking lot. My business couldn't grow because I didn't have no parking spots for them. I had people parking across the street, which used to be called vineyards back then.
Right.
And they had parked across the street, cross Shady Grove.
It's a busy street.
Yeah, it's a busy street, so a lot of people just didn't want to take that chance of getting hit by cars, and they have kids. So I started to see, us taking like a downfall, losing customers. So that's when I started looking for a new barbershop. And like I said, I've been here 6 years. I mean, the spot's bigger. I got to fill in more chairs. I got now 7 barbers. From over there, I only had 4, and now I have like 17 slots. For customers to come and park. But now, I see my business has grown a lot.
Every time I drive past this barbershop, man, it's packed, bro. Like,
yeah, we should.
cars packed.
We've been blessed, man. We've been really lucky, man. We are the oldest barbershop now. A lot of the older barbershops that were around when I was younger, they were like older gentlemen. Now they've retired, and I've been pretty blessed. And they've been cool. They'd send me all their clients over here, And I've always done stuff with the community. I've always, every year, never missed. 16 years we've done free haircuts for the kids back to school. We do that with the community, and a lot of barbers, kind of like do it now. You know what I mean? It's good to give back to the community. Yeah, never had a problem, man. Like I said, the older barbers kind of respect that, and I respect everything about a barber. I have no beef with any other barbershops. Sometimes they call me and ask me, hey, what about this? What about that? It's cool. Try to help as many people as I can. Enough heads out there to cut. Everybody needs a haircut, so definitely.
What do you do for the community again?
Like I said, every year I usually do a back to school with the kids. I try to always bring in other small businesses, just so they can get a little shout out. People, especially businesses that are just starting, they're small. I try to get them to come out, set up a little tent or whatever, just to help them build their business. And I don't ask nothing in return. Is all I ever ask is, hey, when you come, just bring something for the kids. I don't want to charge them. Bring some, got school supplies.
Right.
Sometimes they donate, the food and stuff, because we do free hot dogs, hamburgers to the kids. I sometimes have a jumper. I have a guy, man, he comes out and brings us a jumper for the kids. So I try to help other small businesses also. At the same time, don't charge nobody. Just hey, come out and get back to the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You said you get involved with other barbershops, man. That's good. Like, so if somebody, let's say, fresh out of high school, wanted to have their own shop, what if somebody wanted to model your success, you know, what advice would you give them to become the level of successful that you are?
Man, I always preach to people, man. I'm like, hey, always get some kind of college hours in, especially like the business part of it. I mean, because like I said, I mean, that's what I was lacking, the business part of it, you know, and like I said, you know, I just kind of learned as I was, you know, as the years went by, I kind of learned the business, which I wish I would have went to school for, and that's what I always tell people, you know, take some kind of courses for business, and kind of see what goes on from there.
So how has the you know, the whole COVID-19 situation affected you and your business, man? Were you closed for the past 2 months, 2-3 months?
Yeah, it was difficult, you know, with the whole ordeal of not having that money coming in, you know, every week. Like I said, you know, I got 5 kids, you know, and I got 4 of them that stay at the house. My oldest, of course, lives by himself, and you know, we had to figure out things. But yeah, we didn't get no help from the government. You know, like try to get the little small business loan, you know, got denied, and sent me to another link. Kind of told me the same thing. I just kind of gave up on that whole thing. It just, you know, to me it was like a runaround. They were just giving us a runaround. And I know quite a few other business owners of, especially barber owners, were in the same thing. You know, just giving us the runaround to where they were saying that there was no fun. Me, I was like, hey, I don't need a handout. Just, you know, let me open up. You know, let me start working. Especially after they opened up the theaters. And I was just like, how you gonna open up a theater to where, you know, you got people sitting by each other? I understand they're gonna do the whole little 6 feet stuff, but you know, to me, I was like, after each movie, it was gonna clean. You know, it's pretty much gonna be a young kid probably ain't gonna do what he's supposed to do. And us as barbers, we went to, you know, we go to school, we put 1,500 hours in for, you know, to learn this whole sanitation and how to clean, how to keep our tools clean. And to me, I'm thinking for sure we would be open before them. So it was kind of like, it was a kick in the face, man, like telling us, you know, but again, we're small business compared to an AMC, you know, corporation. So I think there was just a lot of, which I'm never into. I'm not into all this politics. But I mean, that's what I felt about that whole little BS to me, you know. But I mean, we survived, you know. I still did a little haircuts here and there, you know, at the house, and you know, I had to feed my kids, you know, I still stay afloat. You know, my shop here, I mean, he still charged me. I still had to pay rent. You know, there was, you know, which I understood. You know, he has a business himself. You know, and I did go to him and ask him, you know, hey, let's figure something out. But you know, it's business. You know, I signed a contract, and I didn't charge my barbers. You know, just because I feel what they were going through.
Definitely.
They didn't have no money. They had family of their own. They weren't working, so I couldn't ask for money. But I'm just so happy to be back at work. You know, get it back in, and my barbers are back, and you know, being at home was kind of crazy. The first week it was cool, you know, a little vacation, but second week, man, it's like, you know,
money's not coming in.
Yeah, getting crazy at home with the kids, you know.
Yeah, man, I love that mindset that you have. That, you know, you're not really, you know, you're not complaining. You know, you obviously made changes to, you know, keep making money even though you're closed. You know, haircuts from the house, stuff like that. You know, they say that the COVID-19 situation has exposed holes in a lot of businesses. So I mean, what changes, you know, have you had to make or adapt during, you know, due to the current events? Like, what are you going to do differently?
Sure. Right now, I mean, the state requires us to pretty much we have to have gloves. We have to wear masks. Clients have to wear masks, and of course, we're not wearing one. But yeah, we have to no more waiting area. We can't have a waiting area.
Sure.
People have to wait outside. Pretty much appointments only. And I'm a walk-in kind of barbershop. You know, to me, it's like, you know, if you come in, you're willing to wait, I'll cut your hair, no problem. You know, but right now it's a big change for us because, like I said, we you we do a lot of walk-ins. People come in, I have to explain to them, like, hey, man, I'm sorry, man, you have to set an appointment. And but if you're willing to wait, you got to wait outside. So it's always, now it's I have to stop what I'm doing to talk to somebody. And it's really hard to talk to someone when you have a mask on and they don't see your face, They pretty much think you're being an ass or something. So I have to, like, take off my mask and talk to them so they kind of see where I'm coming from,
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot now, man. I went from cutting hair 15 minutes, now it's taking me like 20, 25 minutes because I'm having to stop every now and then, answer the phone, explain to people what's going on. But I mean, I get it, I understand, with the whole Corona thing going on, so I understand.
You think if like another, sort of, pandemic happens like this, that you'll be prepared, or what do you think you'll do differently? Obviously, you didn't see this coming, right?
Yeah. Man, let me tell you, man, for real, they tried to shut me down this time. I'm not shutting down. I mean, I don't know if you heard about the whole, that other lady with the shop, that
salon.
That salon, and she stayed open, got this, she got the small business loan. She GoFund, like, it's like 500,000, almost $1 million, like half a million or something like that. And no jail time, and and I heard that there's these ladies that were in somewhere else in Texas. It was Hispanic ladies, and they got jail time, and I heard they're still locked up. So I think it's unfair, man. I think the governor, he opened up some doors that, like pretty much saying, hey, you don't have to, you don't have to abide by the rules no more. So you best believe it, David, man. He shut me down. I ain't shutting down, man. Yeah, I'm not closing. Yeah, to me, I feel like now I got to fight. There's something. You allowed her to stay open and make this money, and lady has all. I mean, from what I hear, is that she has all kinds of money and land, and we're over here struggling, having to do it out of our garage. But yeah, definitely, man. It's something like that. It's scary. You have to think about, what if they don't find a cure for this or an antidote or whatever it's called, and they shut us down again. Yeah, it's scary, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of news articles saying that this may never go away. It's just something that we have to adjust to, and me being a realtor, there's a lot of people who aren't making moves right now because they want to wait until the pandemic, until this coronavirus ends. Well, I mean, they say it may never end. There could be another wave in the winter time. It's just something that we have to adjust to, and it's going to be a new norm. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. It'll affect, I guess, all our businesses, right? I mean, you, me, a lot of people.
Definitely. And is there anything, is there something you want the public to understand or be informed about like the recent quarantine, about, from a business owner standpoint, from a small business owner standpoint?
Yeah, like people out there, man, that, come to your small businesses. I mean, these corporations are going to stay open. They have, I guess, means of money. We don't. Obviously, they're not giving small business loans to us small businesses. It's they say they're helping us, but I mean, it's really corporations. They're giving money to big corporations. So I mean, if you can, hey, you see your mom and pop restaurants and little, barbecues, taco stands, barbershops, show some love, it always, exactly. It's gonna, right now everybody's trying to rebuild. And we got lucky as barbers is that, you come in, we came in, we just went straight to work. We don't have no overhead. We don't have to go buy, products or new clippers, stuff, to open back up.
Sure.
But, you got restaurants out there that I have friends that, it was better for them to stay closed because it was costing them too much money to be open, with this whole 25% and, it was costing them too much money. So now, they're still closed.
Yeah.
But we're lucky, nail salons, barbershops, cosmetologists, we got lucky. So, I mean, we're surviving. I'm just glad to be back at work, man. This is what I love, I love cutting hair, and I enjoy, cutting up over here. Everybody knows if you come by my shop, we cut up out here.
Where can people find the shop, man? What's the address?
We're at 109 North Story Road here in Irving. right next to, in between, like I guess a Rock Island and Story, we're next to a tire shop. So I mean, it's brand new. You know, we've been here for 6 years. The other location, 10 years. Total of 16 years in business, and we've been blessed, man. We've been really blessed.